Welcome to the Pilates toning workout. Let's get started with footwork. I'll have 3 reds and a green spring on this Balanced Body Studio Reformer, but feel free to use any springs you feel comfortable with. Lying down on your back, we'll have the heels at the top of the bar hip distance apart. Exhale to press the carriage out. Inhale, bend the knees to come in. Pulling the ribs down and together, activating the core, and exhaling to extend the legs. Inhale, slowly come in, controlling the carriage back. Let's bring this one halfway in and pulse out an inch and in an inch. Pressing all the way out, we'll bend the knees in and lower down to the balls of the feet, lifting the heels. Exhale, press out. Inhale, bend the knees, come all the way in. See if you can lift those heels even high as you pull the carriage in. You have even pressure on the entire ball of the foot. Big toe and pinky toe have the same amount of pressure. Let's bring this next one halfway in, small pulses, out an inch and in an inch. Slow, controlled pulses, keeping those heels lifted. Press all the way out and hold. We'll lower and lift the heels for a calf raise. Right into running, one heel lowers as the other lifts, pedaling the feet. Take a nice stretch through the calf. Feel free to let one heel linger under if you want a deeper stretch. We'll lift the heels and come in, pull the heels together, and we'll press out. So you have a Pilates V with the balls of the feet on the bar. Exhale as you press, inhale to bend. Let's come halfway into pulse, keeping those heels lifted. We'll take it out an inch and in an inch. Pressing all the way out, we'll bend the knees to come in and bring the heels to the edges of the bar for second position. Toes are turned out, and we'll press out and in. So you're in a wide second position, knees are tracking right over the ankles. Exhale as you press out, inhale as you come in. We'll bring this one halfway in for our pulses, out an inch and in an inch. Pressing out, we'll bend the knees to come in, bring the heels to the center of the bar, hip distance apart, and we'll drop our headrest to the flat position if it's not there already. We'll go right into our shoulder bridge, pressing to the heels, roll the hips to the sky, finding one long line from shoulder to knee, and then slowly articulate down. Feel free to take these at your own pace, pressing into the heels and rolling the hips to the sky. Inhale at the top, and then exhale, slowly roll down, reaching through the spine. Just really enjoy this nice massage for the spine here. Turning on the back of the legs as you lift those hips. The last one here. Let's lift the left leg up to the sky, lower it down to the foot bar, and lift it straight back up. So just lowering and lifting that left leg, keeping those hips nice and high. Try not to let that left hip sink, keep it level with the right hip. We'll bring the left heel on the bar, right leg to the sky. We lower it down and up. So again, really pressing into that left foot to keep the hips high, making sure that right hip isn't drooping. Last one here. We'll bend the knee, bring the heel to the bar, hips are high, and then we slowly articulate down with control. Sitting all the way up, we'll switch our springs for arm work. I'm going to go to one red spring or one medium spring, but again, feel free to use whatever spring you feel comfortable with. We'll come to kneeling, facing forward towards the foot bar. If you have two lengths of straps, I would grab the longer loops. We'll sit up off of the heels, shoulders pull down, take an inhale. Exhale, reach the arms to shoulder height. Inhale, lower back down to the hips. Exhale, reach. Inhale, control it down. So you're pulling those shoulders down as the arms lift and slowly lowering with control, trying not to let the straps do the work on the way back down. Glutes and core are engaged to keep us upright, making sure we don't fall over. Let's bring the elbows to the hips and serve a platter. Exhale, press. Inhale, open. Exhale, close. Inhale, down. So we serve our platter out, to the sides, back to center, and into the hips. Exhale, press. Inhale, open. Exhale, close. Inhale, down. Still pulling those shoulders down away from the ears. As you open the arms, make sure they're not going behind the body. Let's sit back on the heels, find a field goal position with the palms down. We're going to sit up off the heels as we extend those arms straight out. So inhale down, exhale, sit up and press. Again, pulling those shoulders down away from the ears always, and trying not to let those elbows go back behind the shoulders. So not only will you get some shoulder work here, but you're actually going to turn those glutes on as well. Let's go ahead and dock those straps. I'm going to keep that red spring, my medium spring, putting my headrest back up, lying down on one side. So I'm going to be lying on my right side, extending the legs long underneath the foot bar, and I'll take my top hand into the strap that's in front of my face. We're going to lower that arm down to the hip and lift it straight back up to the sky. Exhale, lower, inhale, lift. If you took the shorter loop, this will feel a little heavier. You're going to pull those ribs up away from the carriage so that the core is engaged. The hips are stacked, the legs are reaching. Let's turn the palm back, and we're going to swing that arm forward, pull the arm back to the hip. So the arm's like a pendulum, it swings forward, and we exhale, pull back. Pulling that shoulder down away from the ear, and we just go right in line with the hip, no further. Last one here, we'll pull back to the hip and hold, bend the elbow to 90 degrees, and exhale, press back. Inhale, bend, exhale, press. So it's just a little tricep press, trying to keep the wrist and forearm in line. Last one here, press. We're going to slowly bring ourselves in, pulling the knees up onto the carriage. So I'm going to press out with my bottom foot so I can bring my top knee all the way through the long loop so the strap comes up over my knee, and then we'll bring both knees onto the carriage, feet are glued together, and we'll open and close our clamshell so that top knee opens and closes. You're still pulling those ribs up off of the carriage so that the core is engaged. Your feet are together, just that top knee is opening. Let's hold that last one open. We'll extend the leg, bend, and close. Open, kick, bend, close. Let's close this one down. Now the entire leg is going to lift up and down. So kind of like a clamshell, but the entire leg, knee and foot open and close at the same time. Last one here, closing down. Make sure you take that bottom foot onto something sturdy so you can take your top leg out of the strap. Come all the way in, dock that strap. Let's take a figure 4 stretch here, crossing the ankle of the working leg over the opposite knee and pull the bottom leg in towards you. That should feel really nice. So let's just switch to the other side, rolling over. We're going to extend both legs long underneath the foot bar, take the top hand into the long loop, pull the bottom ribs up away from the carriage, and we'll lower and lift that top arm. Exhale, lower, inhale, lift. Try to relax the neck, extend the legs, they're alive and reaching. Ribs and core are pulling up. Last one here, lower down, turn the palm back away from you. Arm swings forward, exhale, pull back. Inhale forward and exhale, pull. Bringing that arm up in line with the shoulder and exhale, pulling just back to the hip. Last one here, pull back and hold. Bend the elbow to 90 degrees and exhale, press. Inhale, bend and exhale, press. Just a little tricep kick. Keeping the wrist and forearm in line. Last one here, press. We'll take the feet onto the foot bar or onto something sturdy just to pull yourself in. Pressing out, taking the top knee all the way through the long loop, and bend both knees up onto the carriage. Make sure the side body's still pulling up and in. Feet are together. Open and close your clamshell. Exhale, open. Inhale, close. Let's open and hold. Kick the leg out. Bend the knee and close. Open, kick, bend, close. You should feel that outer leg, glute medius turning on. If it's not burning yet, it should soon. Last one here. And we'll lift and lower that entire leg. So the knee and foot lift and lower at the same time. Last one here, closing down. Take that bottom foot onto something sturdy so you can take that top leg out of the strap and come all the way in. Let's take that figure 4. So whatever the working leg was, you'll take that ankle over the opposite knee and pull the bottom thigh in towards you. Just enjoy that nice stretch, you earned it. Let's sit all the way up. I'm going to put all of my springs on here just to keep my carriage still. I'll grab my short box. I'm going to put that on in front of the shoulder blocks. I'll have a seat on the box and place the feet underneath the foot strap. Sitting up nice and tall with arms extended, neutral spine. Exhale, tuck the pelvis, rounding back. Inhale, lift the arms. Exhale, fold over the legs. And inhale, sit up tall. So we exhale, hollow the belly, round away from the legs. Inhale, arms lift. Exhale, rolling forward. Inhale, sit up tall. Again, you can take this at your own pace. Just make sure you're staying really hollowed out in that belly. Ribs are pulling down and in. Shoulders are down away from the ears. And as we roll forward over the legs, we're using the core and not momentum. So see if you can deepen that C curve to pull yourself back over those legs. Let's hold this next one back. We'll lift one arm to the sky and switch, alternating arms. Pulling those ribs down and together. See if you can continue to deepen that C curve. Adding on, let's do both arms here. Both arms lift and lower. Keep those ribs closed. If the ribs come apart, don't open the arms quite as high. Last one here, lift and then dive forward all the way over those legs. Take a stretch towards the toes. And then sit up nice and tall. We'll bring the hands across the chest, finding a tall neutral spine for a flat back. Inhale, hinge back. Exhale, grow tall to come up. Inhale, hinge. Exhale, growing taller as you come back up to vertical. So keeping a neutral pelvis and spine here, ribs are closed. Again, thinking about the core bringing you back up to center and not momentum. The ribs closed to bring you even taller, taller, taller as you come up. Last one here, coming all the way up tall. I'm going to keep my left foot in the strap. Take my right leg out, turning to my right side, bringing the right leg to mermaid. I'm going to have my hands across the chest here. You're going to inhale as you lower down towards the well, and exhale as you crunch up for our side overs. So you're thinking about the top ribs pulling towards the hips as you get that little oblique crunch. If you'd like to make this more challenging, you can bring the hands behind the head. Again, if you need more assistance, you can take that right hand onto the headrest. Make sure you maintain tension in that top strap, really pressing the top leg up into that strap to maintain that tension. Let's take a stretch here so you can reach both hands down onto the rails. If you want a deeper stretch, take both hands to your right side and you'll get that nice stretch on the left side of your body. When you've had enough stretch, you can carefully come all the way up. We'll just switch sides, so taking the right foot into the foot strap, the left leg comes out, turning to the left side. That left leg will be on the box in a mermaid position. Again, choose your arm position. We'll reach the shoulder down into the well and exhale, crunch up. So So trying to keep those shoulders and hips square towards the wall in front of you and pressing that top leg up into the strap. Think about the top ribs coming towards the top hip as you take that little side crunch. And let's take that nice stretch over the rails again, one hand to each side, or for a deeper stretch, both hands can come to your left side. And then when you're ready, carefully come and sit all the way up. And from here, I'm just going to change my spring for planks. So I'm going to go to one blue or one light spring. If you need a little more support, feel free to go to one red or one medium spring. And then we'll come onto our forearms. Forearms are on the box, knees are on the carriage, balls of the feet on the wooden platform. Push up through the shoulders, pull the ribs away from the floor, lift the knees and press out to plank. Bend the knees to come in. And then as we come out this time, we'll take one knee to the box. So it's like a mountain climber. One knee to the box, both feet in and down, and switch. Those knees never touch the carriage. We're just pulling one knee into the box, both feet to the platform, and then the other knee into the box. Keeping those elbows right under the shoulders, ribs are pulling up. Make sure you're alternating legs here so that you're even on both sides. Let's go one more on each side here, and then we'll drop the knees and we'll switch to a long box position. I'm going to keep that one blue spring on. We'll be doing some single arm work here. So if that spring works for you, you can keep that spring. If you want it a little heavier, you can go up. So we're going to be prone on our stomachs, head towards the foot bar. I'll have my right hand on the edge of the foot bar, my left hand behind the small of the back. Pressing out and in with that right arm, that elbow goes wide. So the legs are active, they're reaching long behind, belly button is pulling up to protect the low back, bending and extending from that right arm, neck is long, head is reaching. Take this slow so that you're not just letting the carriage do the work to pull you in, but you're working eccentrically to carefully bring the carriage in. Let's come halfway into pulse. Give me tiny little pulses with that right arm, slow and controlled. And then keeping halfway out, we'll just come to a static hold. Pressing all the way out, we'll bend the elbow in and just switch sides. So right hand behind the small of the back, left hand on the edge of the foot bar, pressing out and in with that left arm. You might feel that it's a little easier or more challenging with one arm than the other. That's quite normal. If you need to change your springs, you're welcome to do so. Last one here, let's come halfway in for those little pulses with that left arm, tiny controlled pulses. And let's hold it here, static hold. 3, 2, 1, press out. Bend the elbow to come in. I'm going to reach down and change my spring. I'm going to go to one green spring or one heavy spring, and then bring both hands to the edge of the foot bar, pressing out and in with both arms. So again, if this is too light for you, feel free to make it heavier or make it lighter if you need to. Making sure those legs are still active and reaching, belly button is pulling up. Remember to control that carriage in. Last one out. Let's come halfway into pulse, tiny little pulses. Last set here. And we'll go to that static hold just for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Press all the way out. We'll bring that carriage in. Stack the hands on top of each other on the foot bar. Press out slightly to bring the forehead into the hands. Bend the knees, find a frog position with feet flat to the sky, and then lift those thighs to press the feet to the ceiling. So you're squeezing the heels together to turn on the glutes and lift the thighs off the box. We'll exhale, lift, inhale, lower. Hang on, let's lift the heels, extend the legs out, bend the knees, and lower. Lift, extend, bend, lower. You should really feel those glutes turning on here. Last one, slowly release. We'll come all the way up. Feel free to take a little flexion after all that extension, a child's pose or a cat-cow. And then I'm going to place my foot bar down just one notch so I don't hit my head on this next exercise. I'm also going to change my spring to one blue spring or one light spring. Let's put the headrest down if it's not down already. And you can lie down on your back, but make sure you grab those straps first. So grabbing your long loops, lie down on your back. Bring both legs to tabletop. Head, neck, and shoulders are lifted. Exhale, open the arms to letter T. Inhale, arms back to the hips. Exhale, open. Inhale, close. So those knees are staying at 90 degrees. Imprint in the spine. Shoulders are pulled down. We're bringing those arms to letter T and slowly release. Adding on, open the arms and extend the legs. Inhale. Exhale, open. Inhale, close. Last one here, we'll change the arm position, palms down, arms reach overhead and lower. So those knees are staying at 90, hands reach up in line with the ears, and slowly lower down. Adding on, lift the arms, extend the legs, lower the arms, bend the knees. Exhale, reach. Inhale, come in. Last one here. Carefully lower those feet back down onto the headrest and sit up nice and slowly. Dock those straps. Carefully remove your box from the reformer, placing it out of the way. And we'll change that spring. I'm going to have one red and one blue spring on for my feet and straps work, but feel free to use a different spring setting if that works best for you. I'm going to put my headrest back up for comfort, but again, that's up to your preference. On your back, we'll put the feet into the long straps. Finding tabletop, knees over the hips, arms by the sides. Exhale, press both legs out. Inhale, knees come to 90. So neutral pelvis and spine, ribs are closed, knees and feet are together. We'll exhale, press. Inhale as you bend the knees back over the hips. Let's switch to frog, heels together, toes apart. Squeeze the heels to extend the legs and bend with control. Again, those knees stop right over the hips as they come in. Let's press out and hold, open the legs to a V, keep the carriage still, bend the knees, bring the heels together, and press out. So we open, bend, and press. Open, bend, and press. Last one. And we'll reverse. So we bend the knees, open the heels out to the sides, sweep the legs together, and bend. Open, sweep, and bend. Again, trying to keep the carriage still as you open those legs out to the side. Last one here. We'll bring those legs up to the sky, knees and feet together. Exhale, press down. Inhale, lift up. Only lowering those legs as far as the ribs stay closed, and only lifting as high as your tailbone stays heavy. Those legs come up this time, they open, circle down, around, and together. Exhale, circle down and around. Inhale, lift. And reverse. Those legs go down, open, and up. It's not about how big your circle is, but about keeping it controlled and making sure it's coming from the core. Last one here, we'll bend those knees. Carefully remove one strap at a time. Coming all the way in. And we'll step off to one side. I'll take my red spring off, so I just have one blue, only one light spring. Coming to the front of the reformer, I'm going to put my foot bar down just all the way so I have a little more space. Hands go on the edge of the reformer. Legs are hip distance apart. I'm going to push that carriage away as I pull the hips back, extending through the spine, just taking a nice stretch. Feel free to bend the knees if you need to. Round the spine to come in, and exhale, press all the way back out, really pushing through those arms. Pull the hips back away from the carriage, and exhale, round in. Press all the way back out. Last time, really enjoy that nice stretch. And this time we'll round all the way up, stacking the spine one vertebrae at a time, rebuilding as the head comes all the way up. Thank you so much for joining me for this Pilates Reformer toning workout. If you like this video, please remember to subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you next time.